What is up? I'm back. This is Daniel Duran, another video. As you can see here on the screen, we got to talk about the Nick Fuentes and Piers Morgan interview, I guess. It was an interview. It was like sort of like debate / interview. It was kind of weird. But we're just going to go through it. This is a video that I found that cut like some good stuff out. We'll talk about it on the podcast as well. We didn't do it this last weekend because so we went to a concert on Saturday night and we were up till like 8 o'clock in the morning. It was an awesome time, but we were fucking so sore the next day because we were in the mosh pit and everything. It was pretty fucking sick, but yeah, so I wanted to go over this. Everyone's been talking about it. There's probably like thousands of videos, if not hundreds of thousands. I mean, it's YouTube, right? So, well, this is also going to get uploaded to the Spotify, which will also get uploaded onto Apple Podcasts. So it's like a little mini podcast, basically. This one's going to be a little longer. I might go into it for I don't know. I mean, this is I can't remember how long this video is. Actually, let me see here. What does it say? So it's 11 minutes. It'll probably take me like half an hour probably to get through this. So a little mini podcast here. Again, with the podcast on YouTube, it got taken down because it said we were promoting violence. And when I was going through it, I didn't see anything. If you'd listen to it, I don't think we promoted violence in any way. I went through and edited like the first 20-30 minutes of it, because I think that's what they look at, like when they hear that's kind of how like the auto detection thing works. And I didn't hear us promote violence. Now we gave Caleb gave a a situation, god damn it, I can't even think right now. He gave this, what if I did this? And is that bad? He gave a little example of something, and I think that's what we got flagged for. I'm not sure. I appealed it. Hopefully it'll be back up on YouTube, but I do have an edited version just in case we can't get it back on. They're also late on getting back to me. Now, people upload billions of videos. Probably not billions, but probably millions of videos a day, so there's really no way to tell how long it's going to take. I'm sure it's going to take a while, but excuse me. Anyways, let me get to it. So that podcast, though, it might not be available on YouTube right away, but it'll be available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So, yeah, I'll just quit talking here and let's get into it, dude, because I think Nick has a lot of good points. There's some things that he said in it where he kind of looks like, but I fucking agree with Nick, dude. And there's another video that I want to do with Sargon of Akkad. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll probably see me wearing the same outfit because I'm probably going to react to that one too. And it's a good video, dude. It makes a lot of sense. It kind of goes along with the way that we're feeling. So, yep, let's get into it. I'll quit yapping. Sorry. Let's do it. Glutton for liberty.
You might like to ask him about the fact that Hitler arrested my mum, tried to starve my mum to death, did starve my grandmother to death, sent my great aunt to the gas chamber, my great uncle. So perhaps he might like to reconsider his joke.
Those family members. Oh my gosh! Yeah, we got all that. Me mom. Like I don't even know who this person is. Why is this person talking to me? This old British guy is saying me mom got killed by Hitler.
Because he doesn't find it funny when you say Hitler's very fucking cool.
I don't care. I don't care.
I know you don't care.
Oh, Jews they don't use that as a get out of jail free card. Oh, my Jewish friend wants to tell you something. Buy my bloody book.
So that was a point in the podcast where he's like, so do you think, you said Hitler's very cool or whatever. I think it actually shows that in this video, but what Nick is saying there, I think a lot of us agree with. It has to go along with the shut the fuck up, dude. We're so tired of hearing about this shit. And it's not just the Holocaust. It's slavery, it's fucking trans rights, all this shit. It's like, shut up. Fuck. But anytime we say something, now I'll say this right here. I like to use my having a mixed ethnic background to my advantage when it comes to liberal stuff. Now, I don't use it in jobs or anything like that. Like, I would never use it to my advantage to gain the system in such a way, which I probably should, actually. I'd probably be a lot more successful if I actually did that. But I use it to my advantage when it comes to, like, these, like, stupid-ass social arguments and shit. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm Latino, dude. I'm allowed to say this. My grandpa was born on an Indian reservation, you know? Like, I use shit like that, like... You know, we're a protected class. We're fucking Indians, dude. Indians. We're not fucking Native Americans, dude. We're Indians. That's what I grew up as. We're Indians. But we're tired of hearing about it. I'm so fucking tired of hearing about it. But I'm also white too, so I understand this whole thing of like you're white, you're bad thing. That's what he's getting at there, and it's we've grown up our whole lives. Now, like as a millennial, it wasn't. Now I'm like not quite elder millennial, but I'm getting there. I mean, I'm about to be 37, but I grew up without hearing all that shit. It wasn't like a big deal, like race and shit wasn't a big deal growing up. But then later, like in my like probably late 20s to like now late 30s. Fuck, dude, that's crazy. So like 10 years. Basically, I've been hearing about how awful I am just because like I'm a white male and you know like everything is just not everything that we do is not good. You can't have pride in being white. There's no white culture. Remember, people, that's the whole thing. There is no white culture. No, there is no white culture. It's like, but the modern Western world that you know, minus all this like other like you know like trans and all that shit. That's actually a Jew thing. We'll get into that in another thing, but all this like modern Western world shit is like the product of white men doing stuff. And they're like a minority in the world, but they've built huge civilizations. And it's pretty insane, like the achievements that white men in particular have achieved. So yeah, I mean, you got to be proud of being white, dude. There's nothing bad about that. It's not racial. It's not. Well, I guess it can be racial. I mean, that's what they do. You know, you got brown pride, you got black pride. Like, it's racial at its core. So, I mean, whatever. Who cares? Fuck. Be proud of your accomplishments, of your people. Fuck.
Me mom died in the Holocaust. Buy my book. That was crazy. That was just so, it's like beyond parody. Here's this 80-year-old guy in his kitchen to bitch about the Holocaust. Shut the fuck up.
Does that guy care about America? Does that guy care about me and my country and my family? No.
He cares what you, a prominent conservative in America, has to say about Adolf Hitler. Now, what do you mean by Hitler is very fucking cool? Because I think he's very fucking a monster.
Okay. And that's a clip. I think he's very fucking a monster. Do you hear yourself?
Yeah,
I mean, can we all grow up?
I do.
Can we all grow up?
He murdered 12 million people. He murdered 12 million people. What is very fucking cool about that? Tell me.
The edits, it's just cool. The uniforms, the parades, it's cool as a guy. You look at World War II, and it's fascinating, and it's interesting, and it's compelling.
So that's what I think. Like saying Hitler's cool. Like I wouldn't necessarily say Hitler's cool. I think that's the wrong wording. Now, Nick Fuentes didn't debate this, but I think like what Hitler did is kind of cool. He was able to garner support. Now they did it kind of by force, but I don't know. The German, how the brown shirts and the Nazis came up is pretty crazy. But what Hitler did, I mean, he did bring Germany out of a depression because he came up after World War I. They actually tried to come up before. I think they tried to come up before. They attempted it once and then it got shut down, and then shit got so fucking bad. I think it was actually during the Weimar Republic. That's kind of how they tried to come up. It didn't work, and then shit got really bad. And right now, we are in a comparison, like the way that we're living here in America, we are basically living in a Weimar Republic. That's like all this hedonism and like all this like free love type shit. This is like new age free love, you know? It's like everyone, like, dude, like dating and getting married seems impossible. Now, I've been on, I've had girlfriends or whatever. Like, actually, I haven't had a girlfriend in like several months, but dating fucking sucks now. Like, if you're single now, it's like the dating market is totally trash because they've turned everybody against each other. That's what the Democrats do, actually. I think that's actually a product of the Democrats is they go so hard, so extreme, like literally extremist on like securing rights. They're disguised as rights, but really what it is to just pit everybody against each other. And we are basically living in a Weimar Republic where the people at the top are getting us to fight, but we also had to pay money to them, and then now everything's fucked, and there's no money for us, and you know what I mean? So that's kind of what like brought the Nazis into power, is because like Hitler is basically a dude that's like, I can fix it, and then here's all the things I want to do. I want to return Germany to its former glory, and then that's kind of what led to Hitler getting elected. Now they were pretty crazy, but yeah, let's continue.
And it's cool. And, we're just tired of saying these kinds of things. We want to talk like real people and give our honest opinions. And then we literally get an old Jewish guy from England who's going to say, oh, that's not very funny, mate. Me mom. And it's like, shut up. Like, no one is in favor of genocide. So let's just get that out of the way. We're not in favor of a Holocaust or genocide.
Do you think if half
I like that he said this. That's true. I'm not in favor of like nothing like that. I don't want to harm people, but I want our society to be more conservative value wise. I mean, monetary would also be nice, but they don't seem to do that. But first, we could start with society as a whole. I think we would be a lot healthier and just better. I say healthier as you guys saw me drinking vodka, but I think we could be a lot better as a society to start moving towards a better life for everybody, if we would just be conservative in our values instead of all this like hedonism and shit and like having sex with as many people as you can and like, children out of wedlock. Like, let's actually like start going back to church. We need to actually declare America, I think. A lot of people aren't going to like this because I know there's a lot of atheists and shit that hold conservative values. But I think that we should actually, our official religion here in America should be Christian. More specifically, me personally, I think it should be Catholic. But yeah, I know that's up for debate. I think Orthodox. I've been kind of leaning more towards Orthodox because it's a little bit less forgiving. But the only thing is that the Catholic Church has so much fucking power, dude. It's crazy. There's a lot of Catholics.
Your family 80 years ago. You think if half your family had been wiped out by very fucking cool Hitler, you'd still think he was very fucking cool? Or would you think that actually he was a despicable monster? What is it? What motivates you to say something like Hitler was very fucking cool?
It's for this. It's for all of this. And the lack of self-awareness is amazing. You're a boomer. You're a 60-year-old boomer. And we've spent maybe Boomers 3 minutes on you saying, he's a really fucking monster. He incinerated people. And I'm sitting here saying it's not that serious. It's not that deep. And
not that
what
serious.
I'm getting at,
not that serious.
We have been browbeaten as a people, as Americans, as Westerners, for our entire lives. And you know what this has done? It has taken away any sense of pride, any sense of love for our own civilization. We have been made the villain in our own story. We have been made because, well, let's just be clear. It doesn't begin and end with Hitler is a monster. This has been the political narrative, which is why we have thrown open the borders. This is a political narrative, which is why we can't be a conservative society as a whole anymore, why we can't be proud of Europeans, why we can't be proud of being Christian, because they've told us if you're too white and too proud and too Christian, it's going to lead to a Holocaust. And so my generation, our entire lives.
Yeah, that's actually a good fucking point. That's so fucking huge. Basically, I 100% agree with that. Because they demonized like what happened. They've been using basically Hitler for the last 80 years to demonize European what they did here in the U.S. basically. So like, you can't be European of European lineage. What I found out about my lineage from my white side, or at least on my mom's side, none of my ancestors came here after. They didn't go through Paris Island. All of them, they were my aunt. My aunt actually did it, and she found out that all of our ancestry actually came through like the Mayflower and shit. Like, we didn't actually come from like Paris Island as far as on my mom's side. Like the white part of my mom's side. As far as my dad, I don't know. I think we're either Dutch or German. I have no idea. With my last name, it's either Dutch or German, maybe Norwegian. But anyways, I think that's a good point. Is that we've been browbeat, like you said, we're being browbeat into like not being proud of being who you are and where you're from. It's bad, it's bad. Remember, you were colonizers. Everybody's a colonizer, dude. You're bad, dude, because you colonized this place. But me also being like a mixed person, I still have like pride in being Native American. I have pride in being Mexican. I have pride in being Filipino, but I also have pride in being fucking white, dude. I'm proud of that shit. Like, I like all the different things that came together to make me. Like, how is that not cool? I should be allowed to like that. And I'm going to identify, depending on who I'm talking to, I'm going to identify on like, yeah, well, I'm this, so I'm exempt from your bullshit.
Shit,
see, wait. No, it's true, and that's why people like me. That's why I'm popular, because this is bullshit.
Shit. Honestly,
yeah, it's a crock that we don't want to hear anymore.
Did you know? What's that adult site? Let me look it up in real time. There's a site. So Piers Morgan, adult site for married couples. Ashley Madison. So Piers Morgan, I guess his wife has, and it's known, this is like public knowledge. Piers Morgan's wife has a Ashley Madison account, which is basically an account to where you can like cheat. You can either cheat or you can do like open relationship shit, but it's for like older, like married people, I guess. Something like that. But this dude is a total fucking cuck. He's a boomer cuck. Liberal boomer cuck, even worse. I mean, being a boomer kind of sucks, but being a millennial sucks too. Millennials have fucked up as well, but the boomers have done a lot of retarded shit, and they've hoarded all the wealth. Now, Piers Morgan is like the worst of the worst. I kind of give credit to him in our last podcast because he was lefty, but the left went so far left that now he became center. So he's had some centrist views, which are like, it shows progression, even though he's old as fuck. Well, not old as fuck, but 60-something years old. And he still doesn't get it. So.
Mom and me dad.
Listen. What you just said is a crock of shit. And
it's true. It's called the open society.
In your gut, you know it is. You weaponize this stuff. You weaponize this stuff for money. But when you say something like what you just said.
I'm banned from banking. I'm banned from banking and credit cards. You know who you're talking to? Yeah, I do it for money. And by the way, how much money you make? Your company's worth $100 million.
Piers Morgan has like 3 mansions in like 3 different countries. So this is like some rich guy, totally out of touch, doesn't like get it, but this is what he does for a living. He talks about these things, but he doesn't actually live in the real world and see how all this lives. So he's got no like real say in this, I think.
Your company's worth $100 million. I was banned from Bank of America.
And you shouldn't
I'm banned from processing credit cards.
And you shouldn't have been.
But I am. So don't tell me I'm doing it for money.
Well, ask me my opinion about that. I'll tell you shouldn't have been. Right? I don't agree with that.
Let me take off my headphones.
Then don't say I'm doing it for money, because you know that full well.
Sorry. Sometimes you got to take the hat off, dude, and let the hair breathe. All right.
And you say it's a
grift.
How much money
are you?
If I wanted to be a grifter, I'd be like you.
How much money are you making?
I'm making a lot of money now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm the #1 live streamer in America, because people agree with me more than they agree with you. We're tired of hearing about slavery and the Holocaust and Jim Crow. We're done hearing about that. You guys
I'm not done hearing about that.
That's what I was saying a little bit earlier. He's right on that, dude. I'm fucking over it. I'm tired of hearing this I'm so oppressed, dude. I'm so fucking oppressed. When you really think about all those like social like bullshit things like that, we're all oppressed. I mean, it's really like a class thing now. There is no like racial like disparity. Now, maybe some parts, yeah, sure, that happens. That's gonna happen fucking everywhere. I mean, go to Japan, dude. I mean, you can't fucking like go. There's actually Japanese like bars and like food wherever. You can't go in there if you're not Japanese. Fuck, dude. China, I've seen plenty of videos where people are waiting for all the basketball players because they play a lot of basketball in China. For some reason, China loves basketball. But NBA teams will play over there, and or dudes from the NBA at least, and there'll be people waiting for them to come off the bus, and they'll just start like screaming the N-word. It's actually pretty fucking hilarious, but it's just silly.
Okay, well, your generation's on the way out, and Generation Z is coming up, and we're finished with that. We're ready to take our country back.
I've got three
we're
sons.
not listening
I've
to
got
crying
three
minorities
sons.
anymore.
I've got 3 sons, and they don't share your views about slavery and about the Holocaust. They can have decency and compassion and humanity about some of the worst things that have happened in the last 150 years or more. They can do that, and they can.
At the SPLC, they're literally counting down the days until whites are a minority in America. So forgive me if I don't believe them when they talk about compassion. There's a genocide going on right now. It's not against the Jews.
How many Christians are there?
In Gaza, it's against whites.
How many Christians are there in the world? Like me,
1 point some billion,
yeah,
2 billion.
How many Jews are there?
15 million.
Okay. So with a straight face, you're going to tell me the world is being overrun by the Jewry, by 15 million people, when there are over 1 billion Christians. There is a genocide of Christians like poor old Nick Fuentes going on at the hands of these 15 million Jews. Really?
I think there's actually probably more Jews than that. They're, especially when they consider you Jewish, your lineage comes from your mother. And there's a lot of people that are like part Jewish at some point. I might even be part Jewish. I don't know, maybe. I don't it doesn't really seem like we have that, but I might be. If I did a DNA test, I might be part Jewish, but they're all over the place. They're kind of everywhere, and they move from country to country, continent to continent, and they kind of like have their hands in everything. Now, I'm not trying to say all the Jews are bad. Obviously, they're not all bad. One of my favorite people in the world, if I could ever meet him, I love fucking Dave Smith. If we ever get big enough, I'd love to have him on the show, but we'll see someday.
See, this attitude is why you're losing. When you say
who am I losing to?
White people,
who am I losing to?
White people.
Who am I losing to?
You're seeing it. Mass migration. You're losing to me. We are losing as a civilization of mass migration. And here's the difference. In Israel, they have my politics. In Israel, they want to maintain a Jewish majority. If they had it their way, it would only be Jewish people. They're fighting like hell so that Jewish people can have as much territory, a Jewish state. They can be proudly Jewish in their own land. Whereas in America, we are being besieged by 10 million illegal immigrants in 4 years. And then whites and Christians are going to be the minority. And that's true in Canada, Australia, all the countries in Europe.
Look at the UK. So the UK, I guess the UK is like unrecognizable because there's so many Muslims there. I mean, they had like a 1 million man march. It was probably like 2 months ago, maybe like a month and a half, something like that. They had a 1 million man march in fucking UK. It might have actually been longer, but people are noticing. And it's not just the Jews. I think in America, the big problem is the influence of the, not even Jews, but they just so happen to be Jewish, but it's like Israeli influence. You know what I mean? So it's like there is an Israeli influence on our U.S. politicians that is like, it's invasive. You know what I mean? So they're bringing in too much. They bring all these people in. Because there's this, I think her name's Barry Weiss. She, or Weiss, Barry Weiss, but in German it's Weiss. She was like, Jews have been at the center of all of these progressive things. So I don't know why people hate us so much. Like all, the civil rights movement and immigration policies and shit like that. Like all the trans shit. That's all there at the base. She claimed that the Jews are like the people at the front of the movement for like stuff like that. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? And it's like they go to a country, steal all the money, bring in a bunch of people, replace all the people, and then create chaos and then leave when they get kicked out.
2 billion people, but what's the proportionality? What is the percentage of people being born that are white? Where's the arrow pointing? Where are we going to be in 50 years? In 50 years, there might be an Israel. In 50 years, there isn't going to be a white Christendom. Why is Hitler cool? I'll tell you why very simply.
That's another good point. Sorry, I keep stopping it. But yeah, that's a good point. There's always going to be a Jewish state. I mean, they literally have an ethno-state like established in the Middle East, but there's no like white Christian ethno-state. I mean, maybe the closest thing that you could get is like Poland. Poland would be like probably the closest like white ethno-state that you could get. I'm trying to think of another one. Maybe Serbia. I think Serbia would be like another one, and they're all Orthodox. I think Poland's Catholic, Serbia's Orthodox. I'm trying to think of where else. Just look at it. I mean, guys, look this shit up. It's kind of crazy. Shit, we're going on what, 26 minutes now? 27?
Simply. Because what Hitler represents is if white people didn't give a fuck. That's what it represents. When you see Hitler, when you see the edits, when you see the vision, and what is the vision? The vision is grand architecture, beautiful fashion, an unstoppable military. You see white people without limits, without restraint. You see white people without the self-imposed guilt, the shame. When people see a Hitler edit and say, that's cool, they don't think about the Holocaust. There's nothing cool about killing people. I'll just go on the record and say that. There's nothing cool about killing people. There's nothing cool about exterminationist ideology. There's nothing cool about anything like that. That's not why people are tickled by it. That's not why people are electrified by it.
He's right. There's nothing cool about killing a bunch of people. There's something cool about having a strong society, a actual genuine meld of people that are like mostly on the same page. That's actually cool. That's a big flex to have a society that actually wants to live and be together. That's what the Jews had. The Jews kind of had, that's kind of was their problem in World War II, like leading up to it, is that they were kind of isolationist, doing their own thing. And I think Hitler noticed that, and he was like, what the fuck? They're not participating in society, making our society better. And I think that might have been a thing. Now, that's probably like a anti-Semitic thing that I just said, but whatever. Who cares?
That's not part of the appeal. What if Europeans, what if Americans took the chains off of ourselves, which had been self-imposed? What if we make a decision to think freely, act freely, to do what is best for ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to be proud of ourselves, to be proud of our children, to be proud of our ancestors, to be proud of who we are? What if we did that? That is what is electrifying. That is what excites people. When people see the edits set to hyper-pop music that are energetic, and they see grand displays, they see strength, they see glory, they see beauty, they see ambition, imagination, they see these things. And again, I understand that is not a perfect or even accurate representation of everything that was going on. It doesn't account for the atrocities. It doesn't account for the cruelty and those things that were done. But to celebrate for a moment the forward-thinking nature of those things, the optimism, the pride, it gives people a kick because we're so used to the exact opposite. That's the appeal. What it represents is, what if we went hard as fuck? That's what Hitler represents. What if white people went hard as fuck and we didn't have to pander? We didn't have to pander. We didn't have to make excuses. We didn't have to apologize.
We didn't have to do all these rituals, humiliation rituals that we have to do. It wasn't refugees welcome. It wasn't we're so sorry. It wasn't the original sin of slavery. It wasn't our ancestors were evil. It wasn't, well, we're trying to be better and we're doing the work and we acknowledge we're on stolen land. It was, what if, fuck it, we're going hard. That's what it represents. And that's why young people are drawn to that. And I don't think that people should make that, I don't think that people like Piers should make that a sticking point. I think that's a big mistake. Because if you make that a shit test, disavow Hitler, you have to say Hitler isn't cool. He said, you need to listen to this old Jewish guy. You have to listen to Finkelstein or whatever. You have to listen to this guy talk about his mom and dad. People are going to say, you know what? We don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking hear it. I'm over it. I mean, yes, it was a tragedy. I think that he's, in a way, saying that, yes, it was bad. But we're overhearing that shit. I'm fucking over it, dude. I'm so tired of people bitching about, like, shit that happened fucking 100 years ago that doesn't affect them now. I mean, look at the Jews. They're fucking rich now. They're, like... They've done well for themselves. They've recovered very well. Most Jewish people are like pretty financially set. I mean, you can, if you're Jewish, you can lend from Jewish lenders, and you don't pay. They have no interest. That's actually a thing. But if you're just a regular person, you're gonna get hit with whatever, 39% APR if your credit's this and that. But if you're Jewish, now it's not, I'm not saying that you could just be Jewish and walk into anywhere and do that, but there's Jewish lenders and stuff that will give you a break just because of your lineage. So they have an advantage. If you want to talk about privilege, there's something like that. They set each other up for sure because they're in all kinds of shit. And they're, excuse me. And they're very smart about setting up like the rest of after World War II. They were so fucking smart about setting themselves up. Yeah, maybe there's 15 million of them. There might be 17, maybe 20 million. Who knows? But they were very smart about setting themselves up for the future, hoping this shit doesn't happen again. And now I think they're still kind of pushing their luck this time because people are fucking done with, let's just say, at its base, Israeli influence on U.S. politics. But now it's, I mean, if they keep this up, we're going to have another, anti-Semitic, full-on, if you're Jewish, it's bad. The more that we learn in the public, that's why they won't release any, like, documents, like, on, like, things like real things like JFK, Martin Luther King, 9/11. They won't release like the full Epstein. They're not going to release the full details because we're going to find out that it was like Israeli controlled, because Israelis have a history of, so like with the Epstein files, Israelis actually have a history of using honeypot tactics, what is it? Compromat? It's like a Russian tactic actually, but the Israelis really harness that and they use sex as like a blackmail tool. And how to manipulate people, so.
We don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear another guest. I don't want to hear another foreigner, because that's all it is. That's what American history is. It's Columbus killed the natives, then we enslaved the blacks, then Hitler killed the Jews, then we were racist, and we're all pieces of shit, and we should all hate ourselves. And that's why we need to bring on the immigrants, because we deserve it, because we shouldn't exist, and we're all terrible. And if you're telling us that we have to repudiate, you have to say Hitler's not cool, you can never make jokes and you can never say anything, and you need to feel shame and you need to make me feel your shame, you need to mean it when you're ashamed, people are going to say, fuck you. Fuck off. I don't want to hear Ben Shapiro talk about the Holocaust. Fuck you. Go home. I'm not going to feel sorry. I'm not going to feel bad. And you want to know why? And everyone understands this. Our country is going to shit. Everyone knows it. That's the bottom line.
Oh, yeah. Sniper right here.
Yep. I have to agree with them. I mean, that was very hard to disagree with. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys think, because I think you should be proud of who you are, but, you know, like, I mean, maybe I think he was wrong in saying like Hitler was cool. Because like Hitler, I mean, what he did was cool, but I don't think it was, I don't necessarily think Hitler was cool. His mustache sucked, dude. Like, he didn't have any drip. But, like, the uniform, like he said in the thing, like, the uniforms were cool, like, the big parades and all that shit. That shit is cool as fuck. I like military shit. That's dude stuff, you know? Like, that's, World War II is very, like, interesting, dude. It's cool. It's compelling. Like, that's my Roman Empire. Like, remember that whole trend on TikTok or Instagram? I think it was on TikTok. All the women were asking their husbands, like, what do you think about, like, I don't know, some shit like that. And it became, like, what is your Roman Empire? And my Roman Empire is two things. It's World War II and monkeys smoking cigarettes. That's my Roman Empire. So, yep, that's it for the video. Hope you guys like this one. Like, comment, subscribe. Talk about it in the fucking comments. What do you think? I mean, I want to know your guys' opinion on this. So, yeah, we'll be back with another one. I'm going to keep trying to do more videos. Like I said, I have another one of these. I think it's a Fuentes video. I can't remember. I got another one. But, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Glutton for Liberty. I'm Daniel Duran, and I'll see you guys. Peace.